This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Mm-hmm. Dun 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 dun.
No. Y'all, just stop. This is a sham. Welcome to DBL. It's Wednesday, November 3rd. I'm Jeff here with my friends Erica and Tori. How we feeling? Feeling good?
Feeling good.
I'm feeling great. I kind of feel like I'm at a discotheque. Jeray, our makeup artist, has me all like, and I have this jumpsuit on. I'm feeling really good about it tonight.
Giving you a beat.
Does Tori's beat make you want to stay or leave? Leave. Leave, okay. I hope you didn't leave already. Everyone has left. It's just us up here. It's not even broadcasting anymore. Let's get to it, guys. Kim Kardashian, Pete Davidson. The rumor mill is heating up. I think it's real, but we're going to get into it.
It's not.
We showed you on Monday the two were spotted holding hands on a roller coaster ride at a theme park in California. Now the two were spotted again having dinner in Staten Island at one of Pete's favorite spots. TMZ asked him if him and Pete were more than quote-unquote just friends, but she didn't respond. This is just the latest high-profile romance from the SNL star. So let me refresh your memory. If you remember, he was engaged to Ariana Grande back in 2018, but broke it off a few months later. He also dated Kate Beckinsale in 2019 when he was 25 and she was 45, but said the age difference wasn't a factor in their breakup, and briefly dated Cindy Crawford's daughter, Kaya Gerber, among others. So we have to ask, what's the allure of Pete Davidson? The New York Post even called him the Warren Beatty of his generation.
Slow your roll, dude. Slow your roll. Warren Beatty is an icon. Pete Davidson might have a big personality.
But what do you mean? He dates fantastic women, just like...
I know, but Warren Beatty is, yeah, I'm just saying there's a difference between the two styles, I guess is what I'm saying. And I also think there's nothing to this Kim K, Pete Davidson other than Kim K realizing Kourtney's getting all the attention and she's like, hold my beer, I can be with a skinny rock star too. Just like Kourtney, she wants the press. She wants the press.
You don't think there's any sex happening?
Not a thing. This is all so smart.
You wouldn't be curious?
Well.
Come on, exactly. Let's
no,
be
this
real.
is for press. This is all to fight Kourtney.
Are you on board with that?
I agree. And it is kind of, as Tori would say, gauche. Mm-hmm. Because, Kim has her thing, okay? Everybody's been doing the Kim K for a long time. Kourtney finally found her thing. Let her have her thing.
I know.
Leave that tall, skinny white man alone.
Listen, I think it develops into something. It might be short-lived, but...
This is all to get into the press and because Kourtney's getting the spotlight, I promise you. And it's because it's the same thing. She was holding hands with Travis Barker. She's going to hold hands with Pete Davidson and not respond to questions about dating.
I don't know. You might have to break that promise. You said gauche. Remember Rev Gauche in Chicago?
Yeah,
I don't want to go there because no one's going to get the reference.
We called it Reeve Gauche.
Reeve Gauche, whatever it was.
But it was a hot nightclub in Chicago.
Oh. You just sparked my memory.
Yeah.
Me and Erica sometimes.
Jeff and I used to party together before we knew each other.
For sure we did, for sure. All right, some celebs walked the runway for the Gucci Love Parade fashion show in LA last night. So guess what? We brought in our fashion guru, Stephanie Jones. To break down the best looks. Steph, welcome back. Hit it.
I know it's like Halloween, trick or treat, I'm here. Anyway, Jeff, the stars strutted their stuff down Hollywood's Walk of Fame, showing off Gucci's ready-to-wear spring collection. Starting with Macaulay Culkin, who wowed the runway with this shiny Hawaiian print jacket and his shirt, fabulous. And actress Jodie Turner-Smith looked like a haute couture version of Big Bird. I mean, it's not something you can just chuck on to grab a pint of milk and down the shops, but if you've got it, flaunt it. And then there's Jared Leto. Oh my gosh, he plays Paolo Gucci in the upcoming House of Gucci film. He looked dapper in the black and white suit. I'm here for it. And on the sidelines, Lizzo came out head to toe Gucci print. She brought it. And Serena Williams stunned in this dress with those oversized sleeves to die for. Then we saw Dakota Johnson being spotted posing with Gwyneth Paltrow. Now, Dakota, as we know, is dating Gwyneth's ex, Chris Martin, but the two appear to be very chummy. And then Gwyneth recycled her red velvet Gucci suit that she wore back in 1996 for the VMAs. I mean, let's talk about the thrifty. That is serious fashion, vintage. So what do you guys think about these looks?
First of all, I love that red suit, Gwyneth Paltrow. I have one. It's not Gucci, but I have one. But can we just take a moment? Can we get eyes on Steph?
Yeah,
Jones?
what is Stephanie wearing?
Because
talking about Gucci, I'm gonna come head to toe.
let's see it. Head to toe Gucci over here. Okay. We don't call her our fashionista for nothing.
That's
okay.
exactly.
I love it.
You
Thank
understand the assignment, girlfriend. You look great.
Thanks.
You look terrific. And Steph, welcome back because I was not reading all that copy. That was way too long.
It's good to be back and see you guys.
Did you have a favorite, Tori?
First of all, I thought Macaulay Culkin looked fantastic.
Yeah, he does.
I'm really into Kieran Culkin from Succession.
Yes.
Like really into it. And I think he's a great actor. But Macaulay coming on with that suave, like 80s kind of pant, or I guess 50s Cary Grant kind of look. I don't know, Steph, is the Bahama shirt thing in now?
Oh my gosh, I honestly think we're going to see a lot of revival of gorgeous like 70s and 80s.
I love it.
Through.
Okay, good.
And that is Erica's jam.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's going to be owning
You're gonna be good.
the DBL catwalks, let's put it that way. It's going to be gorgeous. I'm here for it. The flares, the oversized shirts,
Yeah,
the
the
big
pleats.
glasses. When Gucci movie comes out, Gucci is so smart doing this because they've got the movie coming out really soon. It's a huge fashion week show when there's no fashion week, so all eyes are on them.
Yeah.
Fabulous. I'm here for every second of it.
Love it.
We're glad
Love
you're
it.
here. We're glad you're back. Steph, we're going to have you back soon. Good job.
Keep it Gucci.
Keep it
Keep it
Gucci. I was going to say
Keep
it, but I didn't
Gucci.
know how.
All right, guys. Speaking of Gucci, Lady Gaga says she really got into character for her role in House of Gucci, so much so that she's spoken with an Italian accent for 9 months. Here's a look at Gaga in the preview for the film.
It was a name that sounded so sweet, so seductive. Synonymous with worth, style, power. But that name was a curse too.
All right, so Gaga is featured on the cover of the December issue of British
I know.
Vogue. But get this, she told the magazine she stayed in character off camera and even lived as Patrizia Reggiani for a year and a half before filming, okay? Meanwhile, the real-life Patrizia told an Italian website she was annoyed that Lady Gaga never met with her to prepare for the role. So you used the accent for 9 months, which I'm very offended by.
Are you triggered?
I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. But what I'm saying is, I was joking. You do all that. You don't even talk to the real woman?
I researched this. This is crazy. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Well, Lady Gaga is Italian.
But don't you want to talk to the person that you're playing the role of?
Well, no, I was just saying that the accent that she is Italian.
Oh, can't be offensive because she is herself. Oh, that's funny. She
I
is
was
Italian.
totally
Stephanie's
joking.
Italian, okay?
Listen,
That's Lady
I was
Gaga.
joking because everyone's so offended about everything. I can't believe your jacket's so tight, Jeff, you dirtbag.
Okay,
All right.
let me just talk to you about Patrizia Reggiani. The idea that she's still living and the idea that Gaga decided to study so much in method, is what they call it, the method, and not meet with her was purposeful for Lady Gaga. I don't understand it. And I studied the Stanislavski method, blah, blah, blah. You're really supposed to get to the heart of the character, and not meeting her is super odd. She also took up photography, even though Patrizia didn't, because she thought she loved beautiful things. So she's making it her own character, and it's not really. She hasn't researched Patrizia Reggiani at all, really.
Oh.
Which
So
is
she intentionally didn't meet with her?
Yeah, that's-
intentionally, and I don't understand this. Gaga wants to make it her own, and that's fair. As a kind of actor that tried for a while, I would of course have wanted to meet with the Patrizia. Of course.
You just like
That's
saying
interesting.
Patrizia.
Patrizia.
And by the way, the whole thing with her dogs went down while she was in this character. So she's like, what happened to my dog? I'd be like, what? All right. Coming up on DBL, our interview with reggae royalty Ziggy Marley, how he's working to spread the same message as his father. And could Samantha make a return in the Sex and the City reboot? Why writers are leaving the door open for Kim Cattrall.
Where are my dogs?
Closed captioning provided by
Hey, okay, Okay, so we're still talking about Lady Gaga and her role in the Gucci movie. So what Jeff was saying earlier about the accent, a lot of people don't know that Stephanie, which is Lady Gaga's real name, is Italian. And she taps into that a lot. When she first came out, like when she was still playing nightclubs of like 50 people. That's how I first met Lady Gaga, like super intimately, because nobody knew who she was. She was really she's always been tapped into her Italian heritage. So that's something that people don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Germanata.
Germanata. And that's where you get Gaga. Okay. So I'm trying to help out. I think it's weird. Now, some people don't meet the person because as an actor, you want to have a different interpretation. Like I said, she wanted her own spin on it. I was just simply saying, in my opinion, if you're going to spend all that time committing, why not then meet, what was it like to be in that family? What was it like to live that world? What did it smell like? What did it feel like? Maybe that's not her choice. That's cool. But Patrizia was pissed.
Well, if you were on set, okay, if I was on set, and listen, there's fantastic actors that do this. But if I was on set and I was like, hey, Stephanie, what's going on? And she's like, hey, how are you? I'd be like, listen, knock it off. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? We're just having a coffee over here.
Did you say that though to Daniel Day-Lewis?
I just said there's great actors that do it. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'd be like, listen, I'm leaving. I would not have a conversation with someone who's acting while I'm like, dude, we're just getting breakfast.
Can I tell you something
know
funny?
What I mean?
Dustin Hoffman in Marathon Man is a method actor, and he stayed awake 3 days because the character did. And Sir Laurence Olivier, famously, who played opposite him, just went over. They were having coffee, and Dustin Hoffman's like, he's staying awake, and he goes, "Why can't you just act?" And he just like walked away. And it's the difference between the British and the American studying of acting, and they don't do any of this weird method talking in the accent.
I just think it's weird. Obviously useful because Daniel Day-Lewis does it.
Right.
But I just think myself, I think it's a little weird. But I'm not really committed to that craft anyway. So, what are you gonna do? The burning question, could Samantha be joining the Sex and the City reboot? And a warning, this is a spoiler alert. So according to the Daily Mail, the character of Samantha won't be killed off in the new show. Instead, she and Carrie have a falling out, which leaves the door open for her return, of course. In real life, Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall really did have a falling out. Kim has repeatedly said she does not want to reprise her role as Samantha.
Which just bums me out, sorry.
I like that the door's open, though.
Yes,
I'm not really a
me too.
fan, but for some reason, I like that they can reconcile and the character is not being killed off. You are our Sex and the City expert as far as this panel goes.
Well, let me just first say the sacrifices I make for this show, because I had to hear this information.
Are you okay?
And I didn't want to be spoiled either.
I'm so sorry.
But here's the thing. This is a great move by production to not kill her off.
Yeah. Yes.
Because it's also a slap in the face to Kim Cattrall.
Yes.
When we're having these conversations, a lot of times we talk about the significance of Sex and the City and in pop culture. And a lot of women, and men too, found themselves kind of emulating these friend group situations. And in these friend group situations, there is bound to be, especially in a group of 4 or 5, one person who falls off the group for one reason or another.
Right.
Nobody knows if they're going to come back into the group. Nobody knows if there's going to be reconciliation. And I really feel like this is art imitating reality.
I agree, and I also want to say I want that door open simply because Samantha Jones, the character, is one of my all-time favorite characters on TV. When you talk Sex in the City, she's the sex. She opened the door for women to be like, yeah, I like it, I enjoy it, I have multiple partners, I'm safe, and that wasn't shown on TV for a woman over 40 to be sexually active like that. So I miss Samantha Jones. The three of them are great, but Samantha was the Cosmo in the group, if you know what I mean. She kind of stirred the drink. So I miss SJ.
All right, well, good take. Speaking of Cosmos and speaking of Sex and the City, would you want to stay in Carrie Bradshaw's apartment? So for 2 nights only, Airbnb is renting out a replica of Carrie's New York brownstone for only $23. Is that right? $23 a night.
Weird things.
Guests will be greeted by a video message from SJP herself. The stay includes a styling session and photo shoot, and like Tori mentioned, Cosmos.
Okay, I have a question.
I have many.
Is it the original apartment, or is it
No,
after the
no.
renovations? So it's Sex in the City. Is it the show apartment, or is it the movie apartment after her and Big split
No, I think
up?
it's before the big thing with the closet. You know what I'm talking about?
No. But she renovated and made her old apartment into her office.
I see.
And it was fabulous. Now, the original one where she stored her sweaters in the oven, no, that should go for about $23 a night. Yeah. But the other one, I would pay a good $2,300 for.
$2,300 a night?
Yeah, with all of that included.
Yeah, the styling,
Come
the shoot.
on, professional photography and designer clothes. Yeah, of course. Hello.
Every time something's expensive, I equate it to crab legs. I'm just like, you know how many crab legs I could eat for $2,300?
Are you like part Aquaman?
Yeah. Right now, not many, because the shipping is out of this world.
See what I mean? Not too many, not as many as I thought. Coming up on DBL, we sat down with Ziggy Marley. What does he think of DJ Khaled owning a Bob Marley guitar? Stick around, his answer's pretty cute.
The U.S. ban on non-essential travel has been in place since early 2020. Come November 8th, the country is reopening to international travelers, but only those who are fully vaccinated. Those visitors will have to show proof of vaccination before getting on a plane to the U.S. They'll also have to show proof of a negative COVID test taken within 3 days of departure. There will be no quarantine mandate, but masks will be required, and so will enhanced contact tracing. That means, per CDC rules, airlines will have to collect information like phone numbers, emails, and U.S. addresses in case they need to follow up with passengers who may have been exposed to COVID-19. Vaccinated Americans have to follow those same guidelines when flying back to the U.S. The policy is more strict for unvaccinated American travelers. Specifically, they will have to show proof of a negative COVID test taken within 1 day of their U.S.-bound flight. They will also have to get tested again after coming back. Children younger than 18 are exempt from the new vaccine requirements, though they still need to get a COVID test. And that's connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. He's not just reggae royalty. No, he's a husband, a father, and this family man also writes children's books. We caught up with 8-time Grammy winner Ziggy Marley earlier in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Hello, how you doing?
We're doing
Nice.
amazing. Thanks for joining us. I did want to ask, DJ Khaled owns one of your father's guitars, and he shared this video playing it. And we know it's an instrument, but some
Yeah.
fans feel it's almost too special to be played. What do you think about that?
I think music is in everything, and you know, music. Some people hear things differently. Like that could be music to somebody. I mean, we're not judging anybody. We accepting, you know.
I love it. You're amazing. Great. Agreed.
Ziggy, what an honor to have you here with us today. How does it feel when you sing your father's hit songs to a crowd of Bob Marley fans? I've been in a crowd plenty of times when you've done it. How does it feel for you?
Well, the way I approach it, you know, it's like my song. I sing it from my heart. It feels like I'm expressing what's in the song. I feel real about it. You know.
Do you have a favorite song of your father's, or a favorite album, perhaps?
Our favorite album would be an album called Survival, which is the album I kind of grew up in my teenage years.
Wow. Wow. Love that.
Talking to Ziggy.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a little surreal. It's a little surreal. Now, Ziggy, let's get straight to it, because your latest album, More Family Time, features stars like Sheryl Crow, Busta Rhymes, and even Jamie Lee Curtis. She's an actor. So how does she help make this album special?
So with Jamie, we had an album. I've known Jamie for years. Such a cool person. So we had an album called Family Time years ago, and we invited her to read her books because we used her books reading to our kids. And so we invited her on that album, and we became, we had a good vibe together. And so I invited her back for this album.
That's, I'm just thinking about like how involved you are with your family. I wrote a children's book called Where's Baby Ford? It's about my youngest son who's on the spectrum. And you also have written a children's book called Little John Crow. What memories from your childhood inspired this?
Yes, growing up in Jamaica, where I used to live, we used to have a bunch of turkey vultures living like in an open field right across the street. So we would walk to school and we would have to pass these vultures. And we always used to like throw stones at them and like, we hate them, we don't like them, right? So that is where the story is coming from. And then now that I've grown, I've come to appreciate these creatures and understand what important role they play in my life, in our lives. And so it's that journey of accepting and changing and learning.
I absolutely love that. Now, as a father, was it important for you to make music and write books for children as well? Because it seems like you're really involved in their life.
Yeah, well, they're inspiring. Children are inspiring to me. They teach us a lot, patience. We have to have a lot of patience with them sometimes,
Absolutely.
Love them, teach us love. So, being around my kids, there's always like a creative energy. There's always some kind of beautiful experience going on. And so they just inspire me. Children inspire me.
Ziggy, I don't know if there's a person throughout history that unites people the way your father did, across shapes, sizes, sexualities, everything. He brought the world together. Do you feel any pressure? You do a great job of it. Do you feel any pressure that your father had of bringing people together?
No, man, we don't feel no pressure. We grew up, that's the way we grew up before he was what we know him as of today. This is how we were as we grew up. This is who we are. It's not, it's not a show. It's a reality, you know what I say? So, this is like, no, it's normal.
Normal. Totally normal. Totally normal.
Can I ask you really quick, your dog, someone wrote in just now that you wrote a song inspired by your dog?
Romeo. My dog, Romeo. So Romeo, my kids always wanted a dog. And it took us like 10 years for kind of like succumb to the pressure. And so we got a dog last year, right before the pandemic, right before the quarantine. And it's been a wonderful addition, a challenging addition, but a wonderful addition to the family. And the kids, we love each other and we play. And, it's good, it's great. It's great. I feel like it gives them an appreciation of another species, not a human being, but another creature.
Yes.
To understand that relationship, I think it's really good.
DBL Nation, go to akashicbooks.com and please order a copy of Ziggy's new children's book, Little John Crow. Again, I can't say it enough. Been an honor. Thanks a lot, Ziggy. We'll be right back.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks.
Blessed, love. All right.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
meant as advice for people lost or stranded was shared thousands of times on social media. The viral post even reached the Facebook page of a local police department. If you're stranded with low cell battery and you've already called 911, the message says next you should change your voicemail to contain important information. The message claims, quote, even if your cell phone dies or stops working, voicemail still works, unquote. So, should you change your voicemail if you're lost or stranded? Let's verify. We went to these sources for an answer. And they say, no, you should not change your voicemail if you're lost or stranded, especially if you have low battery or no signal. Here's why. Voicemail uses more battery than text, and voicemail will not update if you don't have a signal. So after calling 911, our experts say, try texting 911. Since the FCC requires cell phone carriers to transmit 911 calls or texts, it's possible that a text to emergency services will get through even if you have no signal. That's because you may be in another provider's service area. The FCC warns not every location supports text to 911. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till. Guaranteed paid family leave, and more specifically, paid maternity leave, is a legislative priority for President Joe Biden. In a June tweet, the president called it a disgrace that, quote, the United States is the only industrialized country in the world with no national paid family leave policy, unquote. But is that true? Let's verify. We went to these sources for an answer. The World Policy Analysis Center is a university partnership that creates databases on social policies around the world. According to the center's data, only 8 countries, including the U.S., do not guarantee any paid family leave. The other 7 are Papua New Guinea, Suriname, and 5 island nations in the Pacific Ocean. What the U.S. does have is 12 weeks of unpaid job-protected leave for the birth of a newborn child. But that law only extends to employees at public agencies, public and private schools, and at companies with 50 or more employees. That leaves out many small businesses. So we can verify, yes, the U.S. is the only industrialized country to not guarantee paid family leave. With your Fast Fact, I'm Ariane Till.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
You want to play it safe? Nah, girl, we want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No! I got to agree with Tori here.
Hey, stop, I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop.
I know.
You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control?
There's
no such thing as ghosts. I'm talking about.
We're off to a good start. DBL is always all new every day.
Welcome back to DBL. It's open enrollment season, and if you're a Medicare beneficiary and not comparison shopping for new plans, sit down and listen up, because it's time for some helpful healthcare tips presented by Health Markets, your insurance marketplace. That was a mouthful. Open enrollment is the time of year for all Americans to reevaluate what coverage is best for them. If you have Medicare and you need to pick a plan, it's important to remember that you have options, and comparison shopping can help you save hundreds of dollars on premiums and prescription payments. So hop online and start comparing healthcare plans. Health Markets can help you find a plan in minutes. Just call 800-390-9633 or log on to healthmarkets.com. Very important stuff.
I've used them.
I'm doing that right now.
Yeah, I've used them before, and I literally, you can hit, I want to compare this to this to this, and they'll show you on the screen. It's really easy.
Helpful healthcare tips. That was a mouthful. All right, good show, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.